used to throwing people around. They're used to rough housing, displaying their dominance. That same mentality can be applied inside the ring.
And Jasper Troy, a superstar who's somewhat of a silent assassin. I've had an opportunity to speak with him a couple of different times over the last year plus here in NXT, and he talks about respect being everything in life, and that's something he looks to hone in here tonight on Level Up.
Yeah, Troy came from a very challenging background. He's the youngest of 7 children. Wow. A single family. Oh.
And Tavion taking it right to the canvas, and Byron, we know how at home he is right here. That body locker bust mentality.
Well, if you look at some of the history, we talked about Tavion Heights last year. The last time Tavion Heights took on a superstar the size of a Jasper Troy was actually the North American champion, Oba Femi. And in that match, Tavion Heights fell short, so history has shown that Tavion Heights has had difficulty with larger opponents.
Right now, he's certainly handing it to Tavion Heights.
As I mentioned earlier, Jasper Troy being the youngest of 7 children, just having that upbringing forced him to have to earn everything, to work hard for every accolade.
When you talked about him waiting essentially 2 years for an opportunity here, he's ready to hit the ground running. You have to imagine a lot of gas in the tank of Jasper Troy.
Emotional gas in the tank as well, and that can pay dividends as it is.
And look at the power!
This has been dominance on display by Jasper Troy. Look at that agility.
He says every day is tax season. Will Tavion Heights pay up tonight?
Look, this has been Jasper Troy's match to lose thus far.
Oh, Tavion. A counter right there, and Tavion right now on a bit of a comeback trail right here. And Tavion Heights, as we're approaching Olympic season, Byron, you have to imagine a lot of emotions being drummed up inside of him.
Without question, I'm sure Tavion Heights has a lot of friends who are going to be heading to Paris this summer for the Olympics, but right now it's all about overcoming this. Oh, wow!
Overhead goes Jasper Troy.
350 pounds of Jasper Troy just went flying. I did not expect to see that from Tavion Heights.
And Tavion with that newfound confidence starting to cook right now. Oh, and Troy!
I guess the cooking session's over.
Gonna take Tavion right to the black hole. And Tavion able to evade the big man right there.
Again?
And look at the power and strength. Heights takes Troy on a suplex ride.
Here is your winner, Tavion Heights!
As right now, Bright and Gray in control right here as Carly Bright into the cover, only gets 1, but you can really see the confidence continuing to build in this team as they've gone to the deeper waters of the NXT Women's Division.
Yeah, my records are right. This is the 3rd outing, right, from
Indeed.
Carly and Kendall. So, granted, they're still learning and building their chemistry as a team, but we saw marked improvement from that first match to the second match. And don't underestimate the value of just having matching gear. Just understanding that you're in the ring with a partner who is bought in to the team, who is bought into building the chemistry that you guys have. You don't always get that with a new team, and sometimes that can be a real big hurdle to overcome.
And taking a look at Bright and Gray, they're optimistic, tenacious, ambitious, traits of both of these superstars that they've really been able to carry forward throughout their early NXT careers.
And this is also a case where each partner in each team here is kind of learning from the other. You know, Kendall Gray talked about how she didn't really understand the positivity of Carly Bright and really had to adjust her thinking because she came from a sport in wrestling where it was all about her, all about being focused and strict and aggressive and really taking life a little too seriously at times.
As Brinley Reese into the matchup right now. I guess she didn't get that purple memo, but Brinley Reese in control right now to quick tag back into Layla Diggs.
She got the belated St. Patty's Day memo.
As Diggs in control right now, and of course, when it comes to tag team wrestling in the women's division, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, certainly maybe the toughest targets yet for those women's tag team championships.
There's so many incredible athletes. Layla Diggs, of course, had an impressive showing during the women's combine.
And that's certainly very impressive. And of course, we saw her on Next Gen, and of course, taking a look at that, here's a cover, 2.
Being on a show like Next Gen and allowing your vulnerabilities to be seen by the world really was a big and brave step by Layla Diggs, and she's certainly grown from that.
As Brinley Reese here doing her best to cut the ring in half, but you see Carly Bright continue to scratch and claw, someone who never gives up. And Reese now trying to utilize that strength. Oh, and look at Brindley Reese! Bringing Carly Bright right back to her corner.
Sometimes you sleep on Brindley Reese because she's so peppy.
Bright into the jackknife cover, and Brindley Reese able to get the shoulders up before a count.
Oh, look at the aerial ability.
We know she can take it to the mat, Byron, but Kendall Gray expanding that offense right here before our eyes.
That's so key. Every match, do a little something different. Expand that offensive repertoire. That's exactly what Kendall Gray just did.
Kendall Gray says she's just getting started here in NXT. That confidence appears to be booming. Brindley Reese coming back the other way, inside cradle. And Carly Bright able to break it up. As this matchup starting to break down a little bit, a lot at stake. Both teams really need a victory.